but do you want to gain weight or not? You know, the excuses that y'all be having.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, these are a few things that we are going to be talking about today. So if you're not interested in any of these tips that I have, then you don't have to watch. This is a very lengthy video for people who are interested in finding out what they can do to eat more and open up their appetite. So these are a few pointers that I'm going to be touching on today and go into quite a bit detail about how you guys can actually use these things and tips to help you. So I hope you enjoy the video and let's get to it.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. I'm Shuri. If you are new, welcome. In today's video, we're going to be chatting about some questions that I get asked a lot about my weight gain journey, more specifically about food. People always ask me, you know, what do I eat? How do I start eating better? What kind of foods? How to go from eating not a lot to a lot of calories a day, how to open up the appetite and all that good stuff, right? It's such a popular question, and I say a lot. I'm very sorry. It is a popular question. People always want to know about foods, how to eat more. It's hard to jump from not eating a lot every day to going to like 3,000 plus calories a day. But I'm here to tell you it's possible, and I have some tips to give you guys. But first, I would like to make a disclaimer. I am not a nutritionist. I'm not a doctor. I'm only giving you advice based off my own experience. Thank you. Now, let's get into this video. But before, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and don't forget to follow me on my Instagram, my Fitstagram. I post workouts every week. I'm currently working out at home, so I have home workouts always available for you guys to check out. And the workouts that I do while I'm not on a weight gain journey right now, because I'm kind of at a weight that I'm happy with, my workouts are still the same, just a little bit not as intense as when I was weight training to gain weight. So but we're still weight training just to maintain the weight. So you can still find all my workouts on there that will help in your weight gain journey. Now let's get into the video. So first things first, my advice for people who have an issue with eating. So whether it's, you know, you don't have much of an appetite, people don't have appetites in the morning, some people just don't have appetites at all, so they miss meals and all that good stuff. My advice is to go see your doctor. A lot of times, lack of appetite could be an underlying medical issue. So I would advise that you go see your doctor first. Make sure that you are not experiencing any underlying medical issues. It could be your thyroid, it could be, you know, IBS, it could be all that GI stuff. It could be, you know, you're just dealing with some medical issue that's not allowing you to eat as much as you would like. So I would definitely recommend seeing your doctor first before trying anything else. While I don't believe, medically speaking, that there's any medication that is specific for appetite, to regain appetite, there are some medications that a side effect of the medication helps to open up your appetite. But talk with your doctor. That's always a good place to start, is to have a conversation with your doctor. And what they will do is that they might recommend, if there's nothing wrong with you, they might recommend a nutritionist. I saw a nutritionist before I started at the beginning of my weight gain journey. I saw a nutritionist. Very, very, very helpful. They are, you know, there's professional out there for a reason. They help you figure out, you know, what you should be eating, how often, and all that good stuff. So I would definitely recommend doing those two things before, you know, jumping into trying to make your body do things that it doesn't want to do. Okay? All right. So let's get into my tips. So, well, that was the first two tips. Okay. So I have a little book here. I wrote down some stuff. The next thing that I want you to look at is your genetics. Now, a lot of us, so like for me, I've been thin my entire life. My family, I have a lot of sisters, and what I've realized with a pattern with my sisters is that they started out thin and then they had babies and their bodies changed. Actually, one of my sisters had a blood transfusion and then she gained weight, which was kind of weird. But That happened. So look at your family genetics. See what's going on with your family. Like, is my mom thin? Did my mom, gain her weight after she had a baby? Those are all things to look at and see how far back thinness goes in your family. So for my sisters, as I said, they were thin and they had babies, and that happened, except for one. One of my sisters is still very thin. Even though she had 2 kids, she's still on the thinner side. And I was born after her, and I'm just straight up thin. I was just like stick thin, literally. And so look at your genetics, see what's going on in your family. It could just mean that you were just born to be thin, and there's really nothing wrong with that. I know sometimes we are so uncomfortable in our bodies, but which is what led me to weight training. If you're not eating a lot of people say, you just have to eat more, eat more, eat more. But eating more when you really don't need to be eating more can lead to unhealthy eating habits, and we don't want that. So I definitely recommend trying to start weight training. Honestly, the more you exercise, the more you will want to eat. Like, your body is going to be like, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. So exercise, move your body. So that's a good place to start. You guys know my recommendation is always weight training, because that's what worked for me. Before I started weight training, I was eating about 2,000 calories a day. It didn't work. So I would love to sit and tell you that all you have to do is increase your calories to gain weight. Probably not true. It didn't work for me at all. I tried that. When I was working with a nutritionist, that's what we started with first. I was eating 2,000 plus calories. I did not gain an ounce of weight. So that's when I had to turn to weight training. So sometimes you're just gonna have to do something to make it better. And that doing something is exercising and weight training for your body. So with that being said, here's what I recommend. You have to try to figure out, in order for you to, find out if you need to add more calories or eat more food, you have to figure out where you are first. So my advice right now is to get a food journal. Start a food journal, get a piece of pen, get a piece of paper and pen. I don't know why I'm jumbling over those words right now, but you want to start a food journal. That's going to help you see exactly what is it that you're eating, how often you're eating, and what is it that you're eating. So let's say we're going to do this food journal. I would recommend doing it for a full week to get a basic idea of how you're eating weekly. And when you start this journey, you might be tempted to think that you need to add in more, you need to be more conscious and add more food. I don't want you to do that. Write the journal and do the things just the same. So if you were that person who didn't have breakfast, don't go adding breakfast to this journal, because what you're trying to do with this journal is figuring out where you are currently. So if you're not eating breakfast, don't go trying to have breakfast during this week. Don't eat breakfast. Just go ahead and do things the same way you do it and write it all down. So in the journal, you're going to write the date and the time and each meal that you are eating. And then I want you to download a calorie tracking app. Ooh, calorie tracking app. So my favorite app is MyFitnessPal. It's one of the best apps out there to track calories. You can literally snap a picture of any package of food that you're eating and it will put it into MyFitnessPal. I would also recommend getting a scale, weighing your food, seeing how much food that you are eating. So that's going to be important, but you don't need to get it the same week that you're doing your journal. You don't have to. So let's say you wake up Monday morning and you're going to write down what you had. So if you had breakfast, write it down, grab your phone. We always have our phones, girl, so grab your phone. Let's say you had eggs. Take a picture of the carton, the barcode, or just type in 2 eggs. That's pretty standard. You'll find it pretty easily in MyFitnessPal. So you had eggs, you had 2 eggs, put that into MyFitnessPal. 2 eggs, 2 strips of bacon, put that in, write it down as well. Because MyFitnessPal is going to track the calorie, you are tracking the food. That is where we're at right now. I don't want you to use MyFitnessPal to track the food. I want you to track the calories on MyFitnessPal. I want you to physically write down the foods that you're eating, because when you see it on paper, of how crappy you are eating and how bad you're missing meals. And it's gonna help you. So write down what you have for breakfast, lunch, dinner. If you didn't have lunch, write the time of day. Well, if you didn't have lunch and you're writing in your dinner and you realize there's no lunch, write in no lunch today. But keep a space that says no lunch or no breakfast. Whatever you do, write it down. So if you didn't eat dinner, write no dinner. Go the next day, do the same thing. Write down every single thing that you eat. I don't care if it's a piece of chocolate, write it in. Everything that you eat has calories and it matters. So write every single thing down. Now at the end of the week, what you're going to do is take a look at it and say to yourself, am I eating enough? MyFitnessPal is going to tell you, okay, you had the beginning of MyFitnessPal. What you are going to do is to put in your goals. So you're going to put in your current weights. You're going to put in the your goals, your activity level, and I think your height, and that's going to populate how many. It's going to ask you how much weight you want to gain per week. For that part, don't put anything, because you're not trying to gain weight in that first week. You can go back in at the beginning of your weight gain journey and switch that. But for that first week, don't put a goal. Just put your activity level, put your age or whatever it asks you, and it's going to populate how many calories that you're supposed to be trying to eat every single day, right? So I actually, let me know if you can actually not go put in a weight goal for the week that you're trying to do, but you should be able to leave it out. So when you start there, at the end of the week, you're gonna see, wow, I missed breakfast 3 days in a row, and that's terrible. Now I know first thing in the morning a lot of people don't have an appetite. I usually didn't, not until I had a pretty early morning schedule and I would have to go into work early or at school, and I realized that I'm starving and I don't function well without eating, especially after doing my weight gain journey. I don't function without having breakfast. So look at what you're doing, look at your habits and see where you can change. It's very, very helpful. It's a very effective method for you to want to increase, especially seeing it on paper when you're like, wow, I'm starving myself. That's going to give you some motivation to like want to eat more. But start slow. I'm not telling you to try to dive into eating 3,000 calories when you're barely eating 1,500. You know what I mean? So start slow. So you can't eat breakfast. It's fine. You know, sometimes you need a minute, right? So have a glass of water. That's the first thing you do in the mornings. You should have a glass of water to get your body flowing, your organs going. Not that they stop working overnight, but water is good first thing in the morning. And then start somewhere. Have a fruit. I recommend trying a piece of fruit. What the fruit does, fruit has fast acting carbs, so it acts as like energy. Carbs are energy basically, and when you have energy and you start moving around, theoretically you might feel hungry, right? So fast acting carbs are good, like a banana, apple, and that's gonna help you first thing in the morning. So try having some type of fruit with water. That typically, fast acting carbs typically give you energy. And try to do a workout. A lot of people are at home right now, working from home or whatever. Try to get your body moving. Exercise definitely helps you eat more. The more you exercise, the more hungry you become. So my advice, if you cannot eat first thing in the morning, do some yoga, do something quick, go for a walk, go for a run, move your body. Drink some water, have an apple, a banana, any type of fruit is going to help you get some energy, and eventually, and the water is going to help you feel a little bit hungry first thing in the morning. I do not recommend drinking water throughout the day right before your meals. If you're having appetite issues and you drink a whole glass of water right before you eat, you're going to be full faster. That's what water does. Drinking water right before your meals makes you feel full faster. So if you're having an issue eating, don't drink water before you eat. because it's going to fill you up faster. Some people say water stretches your stomach because they drink water and they feel hungry. Medically, that makes no sense. So, especially in the middle of the day, drinking a ton of water before you eat will fill you up faster. That's just how it is. And if you're thinking, sometimes dehydration feels like hunger. So then you might feel the need to eat. That might be what it is. So for people who think that drinking water makes you feel more hungry, it's probably because you're dehydrated. And you think, like, dehydration can trick you into thinking that you are hungry, when in reality you're just very thirsty and you need to drink more water. So that's what that is. So it's weird, but yeah, so actually, like, dehydration masks itself as hunger. So don't get it confused and thinking that drinking more water is going to make you more hungry. No. If you're dehydrated, sometimes it masks itself as hunger. So I saw that somewhere where someone was like, drink a ton of water because that stretches your stomach. Medically, that doesn't make any sense. So don't drink a ton of water right before eating, because that's just going to fill you up way faster than you need. If you're already having issues eating, the last thing that you want to do is drink a whole gallon of water right before you eat lunch, because that's going to fill you up so much faster. So you have your diary, your journal, whatever, and you're seeing where you're lacking on eating. So here's how you're going to fill what you want. Your goal right now at the beginning is to fill those spaces that you're not eating. And one way to help you eat more and to not miss meals is to set a reminder on your phone. Like, I set a reminder to drink water because I typically don't get to drink that much water, especially when I'm in the OR and I'm in there for 2-3 hours and I don't get a break. Then I don't get to drink that much water. So whenever I'm not, I set like a timer to remind me to drink water. So as soon as I get out of the OR, I might not feel thirsty, but my phone's like buzzing, you need to drink water, you know? So set a reminder to help you eat. And stop being lazy. I know sometimes you're laying in bed and you're watching movies and time goes by and you're not eating. So that's exactly why you need a reminder, to remind yourself to eat. It might sound tedious, but it probably definitely will help. When I started tracking, setting timers to drink water, I drank substantially a lot more water because it's like pops up on my phone. I'm texting someone, it popped up, oh, drink water. And I'm like, oh my God, I need to drink water. Let me go grab a bottle. You know what I mean? So remind yourself these things, you know? Whenever I'm having a busy day where I have school and I'm trying to do a bunch of stuff, I'll put it on my wall, on my whiteboard, and I'll pencil in my to-do list. I pencil in eating because it's so easy to miss meals, especially when you're busy. So penciling in on your to-do list to eat is very, very helpful. Do a proper grocery shopping. Whenever people think of going on diets or doing any type of journey when it comes down to fitness, they go crazy on their shopping list and they buy things that they don't enjoy. So my advice is to buy things and have it in your house that you're definitely going to eat. I hate salads. I don't prep salads ever because I don't enjoy eating them. I get nothing from eating salads. I'll eat a side salad with my meal, but I don't eat a full bland salad. It's just not my thing. I don't like protein powder, so I don't force myself to drink protein powder, right? I don't add it to my smoothies because I hate it. If I put it in my smoothie, I'm not going to drink it. So my advice to y'all is to not eat foods, not force yourself to eat foods that you don't enjoy. It's not going to help you. So make a list of all your favorite foods. Don't go trying new recipes on things that you don't normally eat because you're probably not going to eat it. So take a list and write down all the things that you genuinely enjoy to eat. There's so many food groups out there, so many different food choices. You don't have to eat the things that I'm telling you to eat. There's plenty sources of protein. There's plenty sources of carbs and fats. You don't have to eat an avocado if you don't like avocados. Do not force yourself to eat things just because people tell you, oh, this is what works. There's tons of different types of foods out there that do the same thing. So choose the foods that you enjoy. And the idea of trying to eat more calories is what you're going to have to do is to eat more nutrient dense foods. The snacking right now in the beginning, your goal is to try to eat your 3 meals a day. And when you're going to eat, if you're going to eat, make it count. That's important. Make it count. If you're feeling hungry, make it count. Make a meal of things that you genuinely enjoy. Don't waste your meal on a smoothie that you hate. Don't put things in your smoothies that you hate. Don't cook foods that you don't enjoy. That makes no sense. Try not to cook foods that have a stinky smell. They might throw your appetite off even more, right? So, like instead of broccoli, choose green beans. Broccoli has a weird smell. You know, that could throw your appetite off. So choose like green beans. That's a little bit better. It smells better, right? So my advice is, you know, try to choose high calorie dense foods and high protein. Calories are great, but high protein foods are definitely a plus when you're trying to gain weight. We all know this. Every meal that I eat involves protein. Keep it simple. So let's say for breakfast, I try to eat 2 to 3 eggs. That's high source of protein right there. Try to eat, you know, some type of sausage or any type of meat that has a good amount of calories. And choose foods that are higher in protein. Protein will definitely help you with gaining weight. You don't have to go straight into protein powder. Like I said, I did my entire weight gain journey without protein powder. I absolutely despise it. It's disgusting. It's chalky. It's not my friend. So what I had to do, because I wasn't taking extra, and the only time you really need protein powder is when you're not getting in enough protein. So choose foods that have high protein. Chicken has a lot of protein. Lean meats have a lot of protein. You know, if you're vegan or vegetarian, fish has a lot of protein. Tofu has a lot of protein. So choose those types of food that have a lot of protein in them. If you're a fish person, you like tuna, sardines, you know, those things have a high amount of protein in them, and that's very beneficial for you if you're trying to gain weight. So and typically when something has a lot of protein, it probably will have a lot of calories. So choose foods that are more higher dense protein, and that will definitely help you with trying to gain more weight, is protein. Now, like I said, for breakfast, I would definitely recommend every time you eat to just make it one balanced meal. So make sure you're doing protein, carbs, and healthy fat. And healthy fat, we talk about some things, you know, you could do avocado. You can eat avocado toast for breakfast along with like 2 eggs. Start at 2 eggs, then you can move on to 3 eggs if you want to. 2 eggs are totally fine. Peanut butter toast is good. So toast some bread and put some peanut butter on there. That is also really good. Another thing that you can add if you're allergic to peanut butter, you could do almond butter, some type of sunflower butter or whatever. There's different choices out there for you to choose from. Those things are good fats. They have good fats in them, and they're helpful in trying to help you gain weight. Like nuts and things like that are good. So cashews, peanuts, almonds, sunflower seeds, all of the nuts and stuff have a lot of calories, and they do give a nice amount of fat that you need. And incorporate salmon, some type of fish that you like. Some people like cod. Those have a lot of protein in them. If you're lean enough, the pork and whatever, try turkey. Ground turkey is very, very good source of protein. Has a lot of protein in there. So try, if you're not a big fan of pork and all that stuff and beef, I would definitely recommend trying turkey. Turkey sandwiches, like those are good things for you to try to eat. Don't force yourself into trying to drink 3-4 shakes a day. You're gonna be so overwhelmed, and your stomach is gonna be like, whoa, what are you doing? Because we're not used to that. But it is good to try to put some of your food into liquid. So it is good to try to put some of your food into liquid, you know? So whether it's Ensure, Boost, the only thing with those nutritional drinks is that they have a high amount of sugar in them. So tread lightly. I definitely incorporated them in my weight gain journey, but they weren't a usual thing. They weren't an everyday thing. They have a high amount of sugar in them, so be careful, but they can be very helpful. You can try to find some that don't have such a high amount of sugar, like added sugars in them, but usually it's kind of hard to find. If you have no issues with dairy, I would strongly recommend whole milk. If you do have issues with dairy, you know, there's almond milk, there's oat milk and all rice milk and all that other stuff that you can incorporate. But in terms of, you know, opening up your appetite, honestly, there really isn't, in medically speaking, there really isn't any there's nothing that's that's what you do to open up your appetite. It's just a matter of trying to increase your calories when you do decide to feel hungry and you want to eat. But like I said, try to just start at the basic. Every human needs 3 meals a day. Try to start there. You don't have to dive into having 3 pancakes and 10 eggs and all that stuff. Start slow. Meal prepping is essential. Sometimes we miss meals because we don't have things that are prepped ahead of time. Meal prepping works wonders. And I know there's a lot of people who are like, oh, I can't eat the same things every day. Then prep 2 different meals. I don't know. But do you want to gain weight or not? You know, the excuses that y'all be having. Okay? It's like, do you want to? So, I'm tired of the excuses. Okay, so meal prepping is essential because if you are always on the go, if your food's prepared from the night before, that's helpful. That's how sometimes we get stuck not eating or eating things that are not on the healthier side. You know what I mean? So for lunch, you didn't bring lunch today, so you got to go to the pizza store next door and get a slice of pizza, which is a lot of calories, yes, but it's not that healthy. And if you're doing that every single day, that's just not good. It's not good. So try to meal prep. So find something that you genuinely enjoy. So if you enjoy pasta, meal prep pasta from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then let's say for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you meal prep something else, right? So if you can't eat the same things every day, then choose 2 types of foods, recipes that you absolutely enjoy, and meal prep them. But if you have your meals prepped beforehand, it's much more likely that you won't miss your meal. It's easier to miss a meal when it's not already prepped, so get into the habit of meal prepping. I meal prep on every either Sunday or Monday, because I genuinely like to have my foods ready for me and ready to go. When I don't have things prepped, it's a problem. I get lazy. It happens. But if you're really mentally there, and that's the thing too, we have these ideas, we have these goals that we create, we want to gain weight, but are you mentally ready for what's at stake? It's not easy. This is not an easy thing. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. It takes time. You're sitting down writing a food journal, that takes time out of your day. You know what I mean? So you have to mentally prepare yourself to start any kind of journey. Anything that you really, really want, then you will put the time into, because these things are not just one and done. It takes time. It takes patience. It's not going to happen right away. Your appetite isn't magically going to appear in the next 2-3 days, you know? So you definitely have to have patience. But start slow. But you have to start somewhere, and the excuses are not helping. Find a way around it. Start slow. You don't start by trying to eat 3 meals a day. Set a reminder, write it on your wall, write it on your vision board. I don't care. Write it down somewhere to remind yourself to eat. Tell a friend, hey, can you text me at such and such o'clock to tell me to eat my damn lunch today? You got to put in the work. No one else is going to do it for you. So sometimes you guys are like, oh, nothing's working, because you're not putting in the work and you're not mentally there yet. It's yeah, you see it, you want it, but are you mentally prepared to do what it takes? It's not just something that's going to happen overnight. It's going to take time. I know you guys probably don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. It took me 3 years to get to where I am today. It didn't happen overnight. 3 years. Okay? 3 years later, I'm 40 pounds heavier. It didn't happen overnight. So My advice is to get mentally prepared for what is it that you're asking yourself to do. Get mentally prepared for what is it that you're ready for, because it ain't no joke. It is not no joke. Like I said, there's no like pinpoint thing that I can say to you to tell you how to open up your appetite. All I can say is these things will help. Doing a food journal will help. Setting a timer, writing it down on your to-do list to eat will help you remember to eat more. Because majority of the times we are not eating because we're too busy, right? So set a reminder, meal prep. If you have a meal ready, why won't you eat it? It's a hassle to always cook every single day. Who wants to get up and cook every single day? If you have a meal ready for you on Tuesday, why don't go eat it? It's there. You just got to throw it in the microwave. It's not that hard. That's much easier than having to cook a whole meal and taking out the chicken and thawing it and all that stuff. You're like, whatever, I'm over it, you know? So meal prepping is essential. And with your grocery list, try to find things, like I said, buy things that you're actually going to eat. So write a list before you go to the grocery store of all the things that you want to eat this week, and make sure that it's things that you are going to eat. You actually genuinely like to eat it. Journal, reminders, MyFitnessPal, meal prepping. That's the way to go. Water in the morning when you wake up, and an apple or a banana, any type of fruit that you love, start there. And then start slow. You don't have to add the pancakes today. You can add the pancakes tomorrow. Try 2 eggs and bacon and toast. 1 slice of toast. Don't do 2. You're probably not going to eat it. Do 1. You know what I mean? And eventually, and work out. It will help you. Not only it's just overall healthy, it's going to help you. I guarantee you that trying to get exercise in 3 days a week, the minimum 3 days a week, is so beneficial for you, for your health in general. Get moving. It's so helpful. I can't sit here and tell you that just because you increased your calories means that you're going to gain weight. I don't know that. I really don't, because that did not work for me. It really didn't. And some people, like I said, genetics plays a huge role. So you could already be eating 2,000 calories, but because of your genetics, you're just not gaining weight. And then if that's the case, then you need to do something else. And that, my advice will be, is to weight train. So go onto Amazon, grab a pair of dumbbells, start at like 10-pound dumbbells. I started at 7-pound dumbbells, I believe, and they were great. And then I had resistant bands. See if you can find some resistant bands and a set of dumbbells. Just 1 set. That's all you need to start. That's all I started with. 1 set of dumbbells and some resistant bands. That's it. And go follow my Instagram and you can find workouts there that will genuinely help you build muscle. I guarantee you. And if you can go to the gym, I also have gym workouts that will help you. All the workouts that I have on my page are part of the reason why I gained weight. So don't try to go for 3 big meals. Just try to have 3 meals. Whatever you can manage, but make it count. So if you feel hungry, make it count. Eat something that's high calorie dense and high protein, and make sure it's balanced. So make sure your plate looks like, I'm going to insert a picture. Make sure that's what your plate looks like. It's balanced. A nice nutrient balanced meal is the way to go. Don't skip out on your fat. Don't skip out on your veggies. Have a nice balanced meal. And I promise you, it will help. But don't waste your meals by eating a snack. Have an actual meal. Snacks will come later when you build your appetite and you're exercising more, so you're more hungry. Snacks will come. But just try to start at the basic 3 meals. They don't have to be 3 big meals. They can be small, but make sure it's nutrient dense. High calorie, high protein, high fat, nutrient dense food. Okay, so that's really it that I have for you guys. I really hope the video was helpful. Again, follow my social media, hit me up over there, and let's do this journey. You guys got this. You guys got this. It's possible. You can do it. You can do it, girl. You can do it. Or guy. Guys need to gain weight too. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you guys so much for your support. And as always, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.